Welcome back to Füssen and Germany. Some of the Christmas markets going on around about this town in the south of Bavaria, very close to the Austrian border, and a very beautiful setting for this World Curling Federation Olympic qualification for the Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia in February 2014. This is the final draw of the men's round-robin stages. And our featured game is going to be United States against Finland. Finland now out of contention on 2 wins and 4 losses. However, the United States still very much in the mix. We currently have 4 teams tied at 4 wins and 2 losses. And the only other team that is also in the mix is New Zealand. But only 3 places in the playoff stages available to get those all-important 2 spots at the Olympics in February. Here's the lineups. United States, John Landsteiner. Second player, Jared Zezel. Third player, Jeff Isaacson. And John Schuster throwing skipstones. Finland, lead player Janne Pitko. Second, Pauli Jämies. Third player Jani Sulanmaa. And the skip, Aku Kausta. And I briefly touched on the standings. This is how they all shape up. Everyone thought it was going to be messy, and it's looking like it could well end up that way. 4 teams on 4 and 2. New Zealand still in the hunt on 3 and 3, playing against the Czech Republic. So they should have things still in their own destiny. Elsewhere on the ice, Japan and Germany, Korea and France, and Czech Republic and New Zealand. Well, that's Aku Kausta holding the brush. They're going to be throwing the yellow stones and wearing the white tops. United States are going to be throwing the red stones and wearing the navy blue tops. This is Jani Pitko, the 32-year-old from Finland, getting us underway. My name's Logan Gray, and 2 draws in a row. I'm joined by German Olympian, 2-time Olympian, Daniel Herberg. Welcome back, Daniel.
Thanks a lot.
So Daniel, a must-win game really for the United States, and maybe just playing for a little bit of pride to finish. How do you think this one's going to go?
I would believe that the US boys are going to win that game. I mean, they are actually the better team. It's a question of how the pressure is showing on their team, because now Finland is just playing for winning. They can't lose anything anymore because they are not at the Olympics. But they will, or they would like to show that they can curl and that they are able to get their 3rd win.
Well, absolutely. Aku Kausta and his boys they're still representing their country at the end of the day, and will want to do Finland proud, and I think they'd like nothing more than to play spoiler on the United States plans for the playoffs. However, John Schuster and his team have shown how good they are under pressure. So in the deciding game in the US Olympic trials, it only took them 4 ends to win that qualifier to come here, defeating Pete Fenson, I think 11-1 after 4 ends.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that was a thrilling climax to the competition.
And it's even better because John Schuster was playing lead in former days for Pete Fenson, and if your former lead is beating you by that, I think it does not feel so good.
No, it does not. Maybe time to retire. So, Landsteiner just hits and rolls out of the rings. I think we can expect to see quite an aggressive style here from Aku Kausta. He is definitely usually happy to play with lots of stones around. Here's Pauli Yemius. And just watch out for Akukausta's draw ability. I think he's a really, really strong draw player. Maybe not so great with the big weight takeouts, but you leave him a little bit of the button, he won't be too far away.
It's in, but let's go over here.
Now, in the first end, we already get an idea how offensive this game is going to be. John Schuster is playing a draw behind the guard, ignoring the rock from Finland that's in the house.
This is Jared Zezel, the 22-year-old. The US front end, they're only caps for representing the USA. It's only been at the World Juniors in Perth, so it's a big step up, this opportunity. Trying to qualify the United States for the Olympic Games. And here are the rules of play in the round robin. 6 ends must be played, 73 minutes for each team to complete their quota of stones, and 1 coach interaction. Available to both teams, and of course the clock stop until the coach gets there. Then the clocks will resume. A really nice draw there by Jared Zezel. And Yemius goes for the run back. Really close. It doesn't quite do enough to remove it from shot position.
So that gives the US team the same rock again, same shot as before, drawing behind the corner guard.
Well, in the moment it looks like a good opportunity for the US to get off to a great start. Oh, that did not pass the guard by much. It's just probably going to over curl a little bit and out the other side.
Yep. Looks like Finland is trying a takeout from the intern side.
Yeah, something we noticed that in the United States other games, just it scrapes by the guard by nothing, is that you'll see Jared Zezel's stones really walking sideways at the end. Just not a lot of rotation on the stone, and they do get masses of curl that way.
Jani Solanmaa playing third for Finland. His first rock in the first end.
Well, a nice takeout around the outside, and that looks good enough to lie shot stone. Good shot by Jani.
You want to go this way? We can go back over here again too.
And I think John Schuster told his team that they are still lying shot rock, so they are not playing the takeout. Jeff Isaacson should play again the draw.
Well, Jeff Isaacson, 30 years old. I actually played against this guy at the World Juniors, Danny.
You did?
I did. We played against the World Junior, against each other at the World Juniors in Penarolo in 2005.
Did you win?
Of course. Of course,
Well
twice.
done.
Twice.
Twice? Well done.
Oh, but from what I've not seen Jeff play a lot over the last few years, but what I remember him for is just a superb takeout ability, playing the up weight, making the peels, but obviously getting off to a great start with the draws and making a super draw in behind the corner.
And you played him in the round robin and in the semis, or?
The bronze game, unfortunately.
Bronze game. Well, winning a medal is always good.
Yeah, not after you beat everyone in the round robin. Bronze isn't really the color you're looking for.
That's true.
So here's Petko going for the run back. Sorry, Solanmaa going for the run back here. Again, desperately unlucky there to just hit the wrong side of the shot stone in the house. See it run through. It does touch that red. And if there was any doubt as to who was lying shot stone before, it's definitely the USA now.
really a good start for the USA at the moment.
You can switch right
Now they
away here.
use their chance to
Off
put
for
a
a
third
second.
rock
Off.
in the rings.
He's got to get by this one. Go now, hard. Hard. Hard.
Well, this is running a much higher line than the first draw, so they're using the brushes to try and drag it over there. Doesn't get very, so there is an out here for Aku Kauste.
Now Aku Kauste has got a lot of choices what to do. He could try the double or play the roll. Both shots would be good for Finland at the moment.
Well, I think they'll be quite content just to kill both of these red stones at this point. Well, doesn't manage to make any sort of double takeout, and that stone will be wide open from the hack.
Yeah, lots of room to roll, so.
Well, doesn't need to get too fancy with this one. Doesn't need to get too close to the guard.
Yeah, you don't need to.
This path at some point, but
It's curling a lot at the end, so
it curls in there pretty good. Should.
just make sure that you hit it and stay with the shooter. The perfect one would be the roll behind the guard.
Well, John Schuster, just 31 years old. Well, they're yelling after this one, squeaks the guard. Doesn't manage to stick around. You did say, Daniel, that didn't need to get that tight to the guard, so. So what do you do now if you're Finland? A couple of options.
You could be aggressive and go behind the center guard.
Well, the nice thing about going around the center guard is you can play on the in turn here, Danny, and even if they kind of show half stone, then there's the USA then need to worry about getting the yellow past the red stone on the right-hand side of your picture. Guards are sitting quite nicely for a draw to get one fully buried.
Yeah, the guards are in a perfect position to draw behind. But now you have to make that one. That's for sure. If you don't make it, it's a good chance for the USA to score 3.
Well, I've already complimented Aku Kauste for his drawing ability, so I hope he doesn't let me down here. Well, looking a little bit hot. And this one looks like it's going to go straight through the rings. And this is just a dream start for John Schuster. Daniel, don't look at me like that. I know I cursed him. It's been happening all week.
But it's always like this. If you say something very, very good about a player, the next stone he's not making.
All the way to here, that means 14-2s, but we're throwing 85. Yeah.
So I say now, John Schuster has got a very good way. He's going to make that one now.
Well, it's certainly not the most difficult shot we'll see all week.
But it's a shot that brings him a lot closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely. So here's the final stone of the first end. John Schuster just really needs to find the paint to put 3 on the board.
Line's good. You can go if you need to. Line's great.
So the sweepers look like they've got this one completely under control. And there we go, the perfect start for Team USA. And one end played here. USA 3, Finland 0.
Yeah, good. Lance, over you throwing?
68.
68? Oh. Okay.
Draw 7, and it's a perfect start for the USA.
Right to a 6, guys.
Just having to draw the paint to score 3 in the first end here. And if Finland were ever uninterested in this game, that's certainly not going to help them.
All right.
There's still lots to play for. They're going to throw the corner guard here. Jani Pitko.
It will be interesting to see how defensive John Schuster is going to play now, being 3 up.
Well, I can guarantee this much, Daniel. There will be less stones in play than there was this afternoon when China was 3 or 4 shots up.
Unless Schuster does not want to win that game within the first 6 sets, I would say.
No, I don't think John Schuster will take this Finnish team for granted. So, choosing to play in the house here and actually running a bit wide. Great skipping there by John Schuster. And leaves them perfectly lined up on the center line. So I think we're going to see some really aggressive stuff from Aku Kauste here. They've got nothing to lose here, really.
So Finland is playing a tap back. They're trying to move the 2 red rocks in the house a little bit, pushing them over the T-line. Well played.
Well,
Schuster making a good call, going for the corner guard.
Hard! Right to it, guys. Hard! Hard! Right to it. Roll it, Johnny. Go. Get in the house. Come on, find space. Go.
So a miss here. Spins towards the house, but
I have enough ice. It's so straight with the other turn. I should have given you more. It's my bad.
well, good feedback there from John Schuster to his player. Always important when you've had a miss to clarify whose fault it was, really. Here's Tony Onjiboost already lying 1 and going for a big run back here for a potential 4 maybe. Well, I can tell you that it's very close to getting made, but doesn't manage to squeeze that red out. And it's a score of 1 in the first end. Could have been a 4 probably, maybe even a 5. And it will be France 1, Korea 0. Korea off the back of 2 losses after 4 wins. And a lot of eyes will be on that game. A lot of eyes will be in all the games. All of them matter out here to determine who's going to make the playoff stages. Just incredible, really.
Yeah, everything can happen.
Like this one goes probably.
If you've got 4 points right now, it can be enough for the tiebreaker even if you lose. But on the other hand, if all 4 teams with 4 points win, we'll also have a tiebreaker. So, interesting situation.
Yeah, are you at all surprised to have seen this in the men's competition?
I thought it's going to be close, but maybe not that close.
Trying to run here. Well, leaves another guard. And Finland with some stones to use here.
Talked him into being tight, I guess.
Sitä pienempi merkki. Samannäköinen. Muista oli sinisen puolesta oli äsken.
Toi on T-heiton merkki.
So now Finland are going to try and swoop one right around everything.
Valkoinen! Punainen!
Pauli MES trying to hook one around on the intern.
Tila. Liitti. Hyvä pommi. Hakke.
A lot of weight. John Schuster is able to sweep that rock out of the rings.
12 plus.
Well, I think John Schuster has decided that he's giving up on the peeling here already.
Might be, maybe, if you ask me, a little bit too early. Still 4 rocks to go in that end.
Just bite the 4, 5. 4's no good. Over the line if you can. Now go, yep, line. Okay, wait on me. Wait on me, easy. Easy if you can. Whoa, off for a second. Last 2 feet now. Yep, hard now, go. Go. Right to the stop, go.
Well, finds a decent spot there. Well, still Finland aren't that interested on 2 stones in the center line. They can leave that one at the moment.
Oli äsken oli 12-6, meni just läpi. Jos mä tämän hakin, niin se ei tökkää sitä läpi asti sit. Okei. Tuvis!
So Jani Sulanmaa playing his first rock in the second end. An intern takeout, trying to get by the guard, pretty close.
Daniel, why doesn't he have long hair?
Because one in the team must have short hair, I don't know.
Thought it was maybe a team requirement that they have long hair. That one just feathers the guard. Will it stick in the house? John Schuster showing some great sweeping strength.
You want to play the triple now?
But the situation is a little bit better for him now, because Finland cannot play straight on their own yellow one.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Daniel, and maybe an opportunity for the USA to put more pressure on Finland here. They'll be more than happy that all the play is kind of between the 4-foot lines. All the play is in the center.
We either draw here or tap this one.
So I think I would draw with the out turn.
Okay, but draw might be easier. Draw? Yeah. Okay.
Farther out. Yep.
Well done, Daniel.
Shouldn't be out too much further than my last one, guys. Just a little bit. Hard early.
Okay, so this is a kind of unknown path for the teams, going out a little bit wider than we've seen. Jeff Isaacson with a couple of good draw attempts in the first end.
Oh, go if you need to though. Gotta be full 12. Line's good though. A lot of room. Whoa, if you get, okay, go then.
So it seems to be a little bit slower out there. And the sweepers have to know how much work they have to do.
They need to make sure they cover the inside edge here. They don't want to leave a hit and roll off this stone. Doesn't get buried.
Not getting any finish.
No, he threw a lot more than.
We got halfway down. I thought it was like a 2.
Yeah, I did too. Just grinding more.
Gonna look, all the sweeping at the end here, trying to make it curl as much as possible.
Now Finland is trying the double. Get the red one inside.
Yeah, I think they're trying to come off the inside. I'm surprised they're not playing more weight to this one. They could try and roll over and slide off the underside of that red. Well, something a bit like that.
Well played.
Yeah, good shot there by the shortest hair member of the team.
You know what? I can do this, right?
I don't know if it lined up or not.
Got to bury kind of corner though. I'm gonna draw the button through just inside edge 8, and it just curled in.
Fine, it's gonna be tougher. If we make this, it's gonna be tougher to get it too.
So the US boys are not trying to get that yellow one.
It's gotta stay
I
above
think
and
it's
bury
not
each
possible at the moment, so they
What is that,
play
just full 4-foot, Ike?
just a freeze,
Full 4, yep.
Yeah,
corner
step back
freeze,
4.
front 4-foot,
Speed's same here. Speed's same here.
Yeah,
trying to give
right? So,
Finland one rock in that end.
95-4 and we get. Yeah. Okay. Try not to bounce.
John Schuster playing his first rock in the
I think
second
you gotta
end.
go, guys. I think you gotta go. Hard line. Gotta go line. Line's good. Hard. Gotta go. Hard line. 3. Hard. Hard. 3. Go,
Well, this has got a lot of going to go here. Landsteiner and Zezel trying to drag it down there.
Go, keep going. Go, gotta bounce it.
Needs to bounce it off that yellow at least. Here's Jiří Snitil throwing final stones to the Czech Republic. Last stone of the second end, and this is live. Playing against 2 yellow New Zealand stones. First end, of course, was blanked. I've got to say, this is looking pretty good. Is it going to stop in time? It will do. So it's going to be a score of 1 for the Czech Republic. And a must-win game for the Czechs. And the New Zealand team, really. And after 2 ends, it's Czech Republic 1, New Zealand 0.
So if you're Finland, where do you put your next rock? Which is the right position?
Well, difficult to see the angles here. They need to give themselves an opportunity to get in there to lie to with their last stone. So it looks like they're playing a run on this red stone, trying to make the scoring area a little bit bigger.
Normaali. Koetaan mäellä toi tonne pesäkiveen ja
Pitääks heittokivelle tehdä mitä?
se pitäisi pyörähtää tonne väliin. Toivon mukaan pesä.
But where do you want to get that red one through? I mean, it's a really difficult shot. I can't really see it.
Well, I think they're trying to run this red maybe across the face of the red stone and hit it on the outside to try and open up shots on both handles, is the kind of thinking here. Kind of surprised that they're not just kind of drawing around and
That's what I would have done, I think.
and try and get 3 back on the board, try and force another mistake from... Well, when the dust settles, how's it looking? Not great, it must be said. I think John Schuster can play a double off his own red here.
Yeah, he could. Will be a good chance.
I guess you just go bang bang and just like come off
could
this
do
and just
that.
move this in the house.
So we can't leave
I
it,
guess you
though.
probably might have like a little hack later for 3. Off the
Oh,
floor.
I'm playing that double.
No, I'm saying no. I was saying off this.
So here's Japan and Germany.
I can make this.
Japan
too, right?
are
But if I ever pick it over the top,
currently
you're just hitting for 3.
1 win and 5 losses. Really surprising. I expect to see a better week from this Japanese team, but
What's that?
I think it just shows you
Unless
the
I hit
quality
it
in
too
this
thin,
field
right?
and just how close all the teams are. It's so hard to call at the start of the week,
I'm just saying if I hit it too thin and don't hit it
but
out.
great disappointment for the Japanese boys.
Let's fire it.
I know they've put a lot of time and effort into this. That's Yosuke Morizumi in the hack.
Right? Give it a bump. It's probably really good.
And he has got a takeout, a fast
Yeah.
takeout.
Yep.
He has got the chance to score 3. But it must be played really accurate. Must get by the guard pretty close. And hit the German one on the exact right spot.
Well, the key to this is getting it under the red, and the Japanese boys are clearly pumped up for this. And that's an early warning for this German crowd that John Yar and his team are not going to get all their own way this evening, despite the Japanese elimination. Back in our featured game, great shot here by Schusti. And makes a hit and roll, and I cannot understand that last call from Aki Kaus to play the run. He played it pretty well and just opened up a shot for John Schuster. Well, it's a draw for 1 now, Aku.
He's looking for a takeout, but I don't think there is one. Because even if you play that one, you will lose your shooter and the one you're playing on, so it's just for 1, even if you make it. So you must play the draw. But he's still not sure he's coming back. So now instead of having an easy draw for 2, he must play a draw against 2. Difficult shot coming from the outside. You need full forefoot.
Yeah, this is a tough shot here for Aku Kausti. So final stone of the second end. And Aku Kausti really just about needs to touch the white bit to score in this second end. Looking wide at the moment. A lot of curling to do here. Oh. Tell me this is going to stop for second shot. Well, it does. It's going to be a steal of 1 after a terrific takeout by John Schuster. And that really was a bit of a gift there from Aku Kausti to give John Schuster that shot with his last stone. But after 2 ends, USA off to a flyer here and now leading Finland by 4 shots to 0.
Line's good. Kill yourself. Get it out. There she goes, boys.
John Landsteiner playing the first rock in the third end.
Was that you putting your American pronunciation on that one rather than your German one?
If I would pronounce it German, it would be Landsteiner. So I'm trying to more Landsteiner. Is that more correct, or what would it be in Scottish?
I think it would be like Landsteiner. Well, John, whatever his name is, John,
We call him John.
yeah, we just call him John. He came up a little bit short at the rings there. Really wanted to be top of the forefoot. So,
I think we just go under.
so John Schuster deciding to call the come around here with the other John.
And I think Finland made the good call, guarding the guard, because otherwise I think Jan Schuster would have tried to play a peeling takeout
Line's way out there.
on his own rock.
You can go if you need to, though. I guess I don't want to guard.
you can.
Whoa, oh, if you can.
Whoa.
Okay, it's getting better. You can go if you need to now. Yep, then go. Hard. Very corner. Hard.
So we see Korea against France. France is 1 up after the first end. But the Korean team has got a chance with a double to score 2, and a perfect shot by Soyuk Kim.
Yeah, he's just been making an absolute ton of shots this week. Getting off to a great start with her winning their first 4 games and just posting some unbelievable statistics. And to be honest, I think the Koreans are potentially the least experienced team here, and I never saw that coming. I never saw the Koreans being as strong as they are, but still very much in the hunt for one of these 2 all-important spots at the Olympics.
We see the second of the US team. They're trying to clean up the house. Fiddling takeout on the long guard.
So here's Pauli Jämies. Looks like they're just throwing a corner guard here.
So, good call, USA. Just going for the corner guard. Leave the 3 rocks in the center. And make sure that you keep the game in the middle.
Yeah, nothing fancy required here from the United States. They've already got a winning advantage. That being said, Daniel, it's much better to trail by 4 shots at the start of the game than at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
It really is that's a long time to defend a lead. So I think,
But if you're playing really good, if you're playing really accurate, it's also frustrating for the opponent. If you always hit everything and keep clean everything, and it goes over for 2 or 3 ends, then afterwards, the opponent thinks about they have to do even more, playing more offensive, playing crazy things that most of the time do not work out.
yeah, I think the Finnish team still need to be a little bit patient here, and they need to know that they just need to focus on getting a 2 on the board and getting back into this game. They don't need to go too crazy, like you say, Daniel.
Jeff Isaacson with a perfect double.
Well, at least Jeff didn't let me down after me complimenting him on his big weight ability, unlike Aku with his draw in the first end. Yeah, super double takeout, and now Finland are just going to try and open things up here.
Jani Sulanma
Hey, Erik. Pientä. Hey.
trying the double takeout.
Go, go.
Well played. And the shooter stays in front of the rings.
Yeah, and it would be easy for John Schuster to throw a guard here, but as I say, there's no risk required at this point.
Just a little more. Okay. All right.
So excellent. That's how the house should look like when you're 4 up. No guards. Just one rock in the rings.
Yeah, Finland are going to be quite happy to just blank this third end now.
Pientä. Joo, joo, kova. Käännä vielä vähän. Mies.
Yeah. Right on the edge, Jake. Normal. Yep, hard, 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 hard.
John Schuster playing his first rock and the third end.
Clean, clean.
Hit and
clean.
stay.
Yep. That's good, that's good. Just wanted to stay there.
Well, and this is the kind of end that we expect to see when a team's leading by 4 shots. Myself and Daniel gave the Chinese women's team a little bit of a hard time earlier on for their strategy when 4 up. We kind of were of the opinion that having 13 stones in play when you're 4 shots up is not really...
Is maybe 1 or 2 too much.
Yeah, let's say 1 or 2. Or 12.
Mike, let's go side 8 over here.
So this is much more like it. John Schuster's just going to throw one into the rings here and force Finland to play a shot to blank here in the third end.
Good ad. Not too much. I think you gotta go a little bit just on the line, guys. Nah, I'm wrong, probably. Last few feet, as long as it's not through. Whoa, 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 it's good, it's good. It's that super straight spot. Maybe I'll put it on the straight spot.
So now a hit and stay. I'm just joking. He should play a peeling takeout.
Well, he hits and rolls out and keeps the last one advantage for the fourth end. I think he'll probably only get a 50% in the stats for that one. 3 ends played, and it's United States 4, Finland 0. So welcome back to the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification Event 2013 Men's Draw 7. And the United States and Finland going head to head here in the last draw of the men's round robin, the 8-team competition. And just 3 qualifying for the playoffs. And trying to get that all-important spot at the Olympic Games. 2 spots remaining. 8 already determined. Of course, the 7 highest Olympic points scoring teams from the last 2 World Championships, they're already there, and Russia as well as the host nation. And then we're going to pick up another 2 this week here in the BLZ Arena. And my name's Logan Gray, and I'm joined by Daniel Herberg. And Daniel, I've just seen another corner guard go into the house.
So it's for sure not being Finland, France and Japan. Those 3 teams will not have a chance to get to the play downs. But all 5 other teams, they still have chances. So on the ice, they're still check against New Zealand. New Zealand needs the win to reach the tiebreaker. And all 3 other games are also important for the playdowns.
Well, it must be said though, Daniel, that if New Zealand beat Czech Republic, that would put both of them to 4 wins. But if Korea, Germany and the USA win their games, then they'll all go to 5 wins. So a win for New Zealand might not be good enough to make a tiebreaker.
But you definitely hope that if there are 3 other games, that at least 1 is going in your way.
Well, absolutely. You've got to feel you'd feel a little bit aggrieved if one of the results didn't go your way, but at the same time, you want to have these things in your own hands as much as possible. Jared Zedel playing 80% for the week. Again, nothing fancy here from the United States. Some good setup play once again by Landsteiner with those 2 red stones locked in the center line. Well, Pauli Yemiez, not really good enough at this level, 67%. Pauli is a good player, but just not really finding his form this week.
Because we don't give too much to the percentage, but if you're playing below 70 during the whole tournament, it's really difficult to win games.
Well, absolutely, Daniel. I mean, if you're playing 67% average for the competition, you're probably giving the other team 10% at second, and that's 2 shots a game.
Yeah.
Right off. Might have ours.
Well,
Tell him to slow down on those.
it's a big miss there from Jared Zezel.
No, I mean, I'm up at the broom and he's coming out as soon as I put the broom down. Tell him to take a second on those. Just slow him down a little bit.
Okay, so some good feedback again there from John Schuster. Just
Don't sit in the hack till I put the broom
using the 3rd player, Jeff Isaacson, to feed back to the player in the hack and just say, look, we know you're excited. You've got a chance to win this last game and make the playoffs. But you need to take your time and make your shots.
We see New Zealand versus Czech Republic. Czech Republic is 1 up in the 3rd end. But Peter de Boer playing the last rock for New Zealand. And what can he do?
Oh, just need to hit that Yellowstone a fraction thinner and it could have been a deuce. Well, clearly a little bit disappointed, Peter. But after 3 ends, it's a tie game. Some nerve-wracking stuff here this evening here in the BLZ Arena.
So New Zealand made it only once to the Worlds during the last 3 years, but in Basel they did a really good performance.
Yeah, they certainly did, Daniel. I think they finished up 5th in the end. And along the way, they actually defeated Glenn Howard, handing them their only loss of the week.
Glenn who? We were thinking about Glenn Howard, that he was first time world champion, 1988, I think, or 87, 87, you're right. This is really a long time ago.
Yeah, I was 1 year old then. Okay, so Finland looking a little bit better here in this 4th end. They've got a corner guard. They've got one of the stones off the centre line. So Jeff Isaacson going after the stone in the house here. Just playing 76% for the week.
Lead. Whoa. It's normal, huh? He's got it. Height control. Get the height control. 9.5.
Safe shot, just hit it, roll out. You don't need any rocks behind the tee line. It can only be benefit for the opponent. And Finland is trying to use that corner guard one more time. Jani Sulanmaa playing an out-turn draw.
So just going back to the stats situation, Daniel, of course, the statistics are quite subjective, but Pauli Jämies at 2nd is 6% lower than any other 2nd in the competition. That's too much to be giving the other nations. Really nice draw here by Sulanmaa.
Probably hack him. He rubbed the guard and might roll over. If I throw hack, if I throw it tight.
So we see Germany versus Japan. Japan lead by 3-1, but Felix Schulze has got the opportunity with a really difficult takeout from the outside to score 2. He has to...
Maybe even 3 if he gets it really good. Makes the double, and a huge celebration from Christopher Barch and Sven Goldeman. They didn't manage to quite get the 3, but I think they'll be more than happy to score 2 there. Superb stuff from Felix Schulze and his German boys. 3 ends played, and it's Germany 4, Japan 3. So John Schuster, 76 for the week.
And now he's trying a hack white takeout.
Well, chips the guard, but rolls over to a centre and covers a fraction of that red stone on the centre line, the shot stone.
So at the moment, from the US side, you don't have to give more than 2 away. If Finland would score 2 now, it's not that bad. But he opened up the way to the yellow one, to the Finnish rock. So he can for sure make an open hit with the next one if he wants to. So we see the broom far away from the rock. That means he's going to play a lightweight. No takeout, just a tap back maybe. And Kukau still playing 74% during the tournament so far.
Mukana! Joo! Viet, joo! Kova! Joo! Hei! 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 Hei!
Oh, really nice shot here by Aku Kausta. Perhaps they'd like to just hit it a little bit thinner and roll further, flatten the double out between those 2 yellow stones and get some better separation. So a good point here by John Schuster. This is almost exactly the same line as they played 2 ends ago to make the double on the second end and generate the steal. So you should know this bit of ice.
It's a good angle. That double is possible. John Schuster, fourth and last rock.
Right off, right off. Get up, a little more, go.
Sorry, guys.
Well, just hits it a couple of inches too high. And it's going to be a nose hit for 2 here for Aku Kaustet to get back into this game.
I just too much. Touched it.
A nose hit or a draw. He can choose.
Täältä vai?
Oh, my apologies, still lying shot stone.
So Finland decides to play the draw. Try to score 2, get back into the game. Aku Kaustet.
Takapunainen!
Voima vaan.
Suuntaan punainen!
Pientäis voi.
Ei voi.
Pilaa. Punainen. Voima vaan. Takapunainen.
Tee. Teellä. Tee. Suuntaan hyvä. Tee. Takapunainen tee.
Very well played. 2 for Finland. Let's score after the fourth end. The US lead 4-2 against Finland.
Not a very tough one either. Yeah, take more time. I don't care what I'm thinking about. Just sitting.
Joo, kuulemma suoja pesää, sitten lähtee perustaan. Se on selvä. Ei mitään. Hyvä.
Well, it's been a glittering performance so far from the USA. However, I think they'll be a little disappointed to drop 2 there in the fourth end. There's a missed peel by Jared Zezel that really led to that one. Not that we want to put the blame on anyone.
Just a little bit.
Should be a straightforward shot.
But it's always the same. If you're up, you have to make the easy shots, not to force somebody who's playing behind you in the back end in the third or skip, then to have big shots or difficult ones. So John Schuster, he still could have leveled the game or cleared the house with that double, but the double is not an easy shot. You're not able to make doubles every time. So that was the pressure shot. He didn't make it.
Well, a nice draw there by John Landsteiner.
8, he says.
We must remember, although it was a great start by the USA, it's still only a 2-shot game here.
Metteri! Puolivälimetteri! Puolivälimetteri!
Wow. Älä aina vaan. Joo. Perkele. Pikku poppi.
Same thing.
Oh, Yannick Pitko comes up way short on the freeze attempt. Looking a little bit out of sorts there. Well, Landsteiner's coming around the center guard again here.
Yeah, let it be then.
They could also play to the outside.
Well, I was just thinking the same thing, Daniel. I think I'd be tempted to do that. You start playing around in the center line, you throw one back at the tee line,
Well, it's going right to the back of the tee line. Whoa.
which is exactly what they have done, and all of a sudden, as John Schuster says,
It's so terrible. So it's not that bad, but it gives the opponent a chance.
yeah, as Mike Harris put it on there the other day, John Schuster always wears his heart on his sleeve. Like, you never have any problems knowing what John's thinking out there. So here is Jiri Schneetil with the final stone of the fourth end, playing against 3 Kiwi counters.
I mean, he's got no way in, right? He's got to
Shouldn't be too hard a shot here. They can hit anywhere on the outside of this yellow to score. Hits it on the nose, and it's a score of 1 in the fourth end for the Czech Republic. 4 ends played. Czech Republic 2, New Zealand 1.
7.
Okay, easy then, right off. Just a clean, just clean. Should be a little
6,
slower.
5.
Whoa, 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 just a 4 is all.
So another missed draw in our featured game, this time from Perli Yemies.
Hand off.
And Jared Zezel now coming around on the intern.
Hard, hard. Bump it a little bit. Hard. Get a bump.
So
Okay,
for
good.
being 2 up, there are a lot of rocks in play already. But it's always the same. If your own rocks have such a good position and the opponent has just got guards, you just feel like you have still to go, not to clean up everything, even if it's not the right tactic at that moment.
I actually didn't mind the draw in this situation because it really forces Finland to start making some run backs. So, but of course you have to make these shots when you call them, especially when you're ahead in the game. So here's Yemies going for the big run back.
Very well played.
Yeah, that's much more like it from Pauli.
So now open up the guards.
Yeah, I would say so. I can get a few of these yellow stones moving here. So, Jared Zezel sending down the heat. And how many guards can he move with this? Just the 2. But nice shot there by Zezel. Now the center line nice and open.
Mikä?
Seinä. Vai normaali? Tuu normaali.
Ei mun mielestä missään nimessä kyllä. Jos me halutaan jättää, niin seinä vaan.
Selvä.
Vai miksi? Mitä sä haluat sen normaalilla?
Käy, seinä käy.
Onks tää rolli?
Joo.
Isompi.
Definitely a takeout for the Finnish third.
Seinä. Hei! Tää kova!
Jap, jap, jap,
Pietä!
jap,
Joo!
jap!
Kova!
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 Well played by Jani Sulanmaa.
Okay, so here's an update from Sheet B. And Yusuke Morozumi facing some German granite here. And the sweepers are not in love with this one. They're backing right away from it. Needed to find a piece of the forefoot. And Not even close. Yusuke Murasumi just a little bit out of sorts this week. And it's going to be a steal of 2 from Germany. 4 ends played. 6-3 for Germany.
Normale.
Well, the US have managed to find a good one underneath that stone at the top of the 8-foot. Just a short run here though for Finland.
Nice double.
Yeah, Sulan Mal looks like he's come to play this afternoon. Or evening, even. It's been a long day.
Well played. His last shots.
Kind of lose track of time when you spend this amount of time in the BLZ arena. Not much light getting in here.
Really, John? Come on. Jesus.
John Schuster
like his first one did.
cursing himself there, going a little bit too hard for the roll behind the corner. Runs a little bit straight and rolls out. Still biting over there though. I don't think Aki Kausta has much choice other than to play a takeout on it.
Normaali.
He's not really got anything worth protecting on the centre line at the moment. I mean, I guess he could come around the corner guard, but
maybe he could draw a second one behind the corner guard. Might be a chance, because it's not that easy if a rock is so far outside and so far back to play the hit and stay.
well, absolutely. We'll see how this works out for Aku anyway.
It's the second last rock for Finland in the 5th end.
So here's Tony Ongebust of France. They made a team change for this game, taking out Wilfred Kulo and brought in Roman Borini. This is Tony Ongebust. We saw him miss a big run back for a big score in the first end. Trailing by 3-1 now after a score of 2 in the second for Korea. And then a steal in the third. And look at all this red granite he's drawing against. Might be good enough to cut them to 1. We're not sure. We're going to have a good look at that.
So it's definitely 1 for Korea, and the lead anyway. 3 rocks already after the 4th end.
I think they're going to put a measure on, so we'll get back to you on that one when we know the outcome of the 4th end in that matchup. And back in our featured sheet, here's John Schuster. Trying to make the hit and roll on this one in the center line.
And Aku Kausta played before the perfect stay, so it looks like at the end of that, John Schuster will have to score 1.
Well, in hindsight, it might have been quite nice if Aku Kausta made a roll into the 12-foot circle, so that John Schuster then played that hit and stick on the nose. He could come around that red stone in the center line. But looks like they're going to have to settle for making John Schuster face 2 stones with his last stone.
Seinä. Joo. Pitää olla pikkasen paalipuolella. Joo. Semmonen siis ihan pieni nytkäys. Joo.
Aku Kausta playing the last stone for Finland in the 5th end.
Pääseekö mun puolella? En mä tiedä.
Well, is it in the rings? See a little bit white from here, but John Schuster having a good look at that one.
Probably on, huh? We can't take a chance. Do you want to just hit that one?
Well, it's got their attention anyway.
The rings are on. It could be on, though. I think it's on. So the question is, do we want to hit or do we want to draw? Just draw, huh? But it's probably kind of in our draw path. Is my only problem. Like, if we have to go in here, is it going to be the same speed? Should be.
So is it in?
I think John Schuster's saying he thinks it's in, so they can't really afford to play a takeout on the wide one and then risk losing a measure and giving up a steal.
I don't think we can play the blank because it might not be a blank. So speed should be the same here as it is out, right?
Yeah.
90.
85, 90.
Okay. We're just not quite out as far. So.
It's a draw for one for John Schuster.
Yeah, so those numbers you just heard the sweepers saying 85, 90. That's 385 or 390, and that's a time that they'll take from the back line to the hog line to give them an early indicator of
You gotta go for line,
how
guys.
far the stone's going to
You really
run.
gotta go. Help, Mike.
And that one needs hard sweeping.
Hard, guys. Everything
Yeah,
you
the
got.
sweepers are just going to town
Full
on this
12.
one.
Full 12. Full 12.
You always think when John Schuster lets these stones go that they're not even going to get close to the house. It's just a all-out panic when he lets go. But that one gets there comfortably. And a nice draw and a score of 1 for the USA. Half-time here. The two teams get a 5-minute break. And when we come back for the 6th end, the United States leading Finland by 5 shots to 2.
We see the first end. Perfect start for the USA. John Schuster has got a draw for 3. He's got the hammer. And this one is perfectly judged by the sweepers. Good weight 3 for the USA after the first end. That's how a curling game should start. In the second end, we see 2 red ones that are the US Rocks lying shut in the house. Aku Kauste playing an in-turn draw. And this one stays too far outside. The weight was good, but the line was not perfect. So 1 for the USA. And the score after the second end, 4-0. In the fourth end, there was a slight mistake by the second of the USA. And that gives, at the end, Aku Kauste the chance to score 2 with an in-turn draw. Perfectly played. 2 yellow ones. And the score is 4-2. The lead by the USA against Finland. And then the fifth end, we had a draw from John Schuster. Well played to the 4-foot. So after the fifth end, the score is 5-2. On the other sheets, we've got Japan versus Germany, 3-6. Korea, 4 up against France, 1. And Czech Republic, 1 against 2-1 New Zealand.
Luisto on mennyt ihan paskaksi, kun Pauli ei jaksa heittää kiviä pesään. Niin. Niin. Joo, kello on mukaan 14 vuotta teille. Niin, mutta silti 5-metrisellä tosiaan ei niinku saa hipsulle ja just riittää pesästä läpi, jos milli osuu. Näin se on. Joo. No, ei se mitään. Otetaan toinen perus 2. Sanoin, hetkinen, että otetaan semmoinen peruskakko. Kysy. Voisit sä joskus selittää, mikä se on?
All right. What's that? Yeah.
I like the double field when you've done.
The first one?
Yeah. That's what he was just saying.
I know.
He did a nice one.
That's a long run back. Stick. He picks one of them off, rolls it over the corner, then you have a chance to peel two. Whatever. That's fine. All right. It's fine.
So sixth end of the game, USA against Finland. The last draw of the round robin of the Olympic qualification. The USA are in front 5-2, and they still have got a very good chance to get to the playdowns.
Line's perfect. Timed out pretty good too.
Finland only with 2 wins so far, so they have got no chance
Start Lance, attaboy. Pistol.
to go to the Olympic Games. And Finland has got the last rock advantage. Being 3 down means they have, or they will play corner guards. Trying to keep as many rocks in play as possible. And have to look if the S boys are somehow playing with them, trying to force them not to be too defensive. John Lunsteiner playing a very good game so far. 93%. Nearly perfect.
Yeah. Get better though. You can go if you need to. It looks like it's grabbing some frost, guys. As far as it goes. All the way and all the way across the line.
So also bring that second rock in the house.
Attaboy. Nice job, buddy. Nice pair.
Janne Pikko playing 65% today. Been really outplayed by his opposite number, John Landsteiner. According to the stats, anyway.
Nice draw behind the corner guard. Now first chance for the US team to play a takeout on the guard. And that's what they are planning to do.
We saw Jared Zezel missing in this shot, missing in this spot a couple of ends ago. But makes no mistake this time. Pauli Yemies. Only playing 67%. Need a better performance from the front end to finish if they want to turn this 3-shot deficit around. Leading second, playing in the 60s, isn't really going to cut it at this level, Daniel.
No, that's not enough. If you look at teams like Niklas Edin from Sweden or Thomas Olsrud's team from Norway, I think they are most of the time over 80, and that's what you really need if you want to win most of your games.
Well, myself and Mike Harris were talking about it earlier, that in the roar of the rings, Ben Hebert at lead was playing 96% for the whole round robin. So the standard is getting higher and higher. Teams are training harder and harder, and these New Zealand guys have been training hard too, and still in with a chance here. They still need some results to go their way, but hanging tough with the Czech Republic here, drawing against 3 red counters, and Thompson and Becker going to town on this one. Can they get it far enough? Sean Becker giving it some extra encouragement, and they do manage to get it far enough. Great sweep there by the New Zealand front end, and it's a score of 1 for the Kiwis. Czech Republic 2, New Zealand 2.
Yep. Hard. Lead. 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 Going.
Isaacson with another peeling takeout. Perfectly played, and now we come to the point in that end when Finland has to change the tactic. Sooner or later they have to go for the one line in the center.
So that's it. Tournament accuracy there for Jani Sulanmaa, 74%.
Brooklyn.
Well, I think a guard maybe was still the right shot there for Finland. They've still got 3 to come, but I think with the next one they will have to move things around a bit. Here's Jeff Isaacson trying to peel the guard here.
Just a little. Johnny, anywhere that way.
Hits on the wrong side. So that's a nice corner guard now for Finland to try and bring into play.
Now they can try to play the hit and roll. Just concentrate on the front one in the 12-foot and roll behind the corner guard. Jani Sulanmaa with a controlled takeout weight.
And again, the skip's just been caught out with the line calls, but actually a good shot all the same from the finish. Always good when you've got the last stone to take the play away from the centre, and when you're making those hit and rolls behind the corner guard, even if you roll out the other side, then it means the team without the last stone have got a long way to roll to get back to the centre.
So actually at the moment it's a good chance for Finland to score 2. Just keep your rocks in play.
Okay, normal. Roll in there. Yep. Got to roll in a full 8. It's normal. Yep. 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 Hard.
Here's John Schuster playing the takeout on the wing.
Whoa! Whoa! Close!
Would like to hit and roll in a fraction.
Hard jump.
No, I'm not going anywhere. Whoa.
Yep, yep, yep.
I guess.
Okay.
Well, for me, if they were making a roll there, they probably needed to make a big roll.
They need to be shot, second shot. That's the main thing, because if you're not lying shot, you can roll out. It's the same.
Yeah, that red doesn't really change the situation, and could be something that's more of a nuisance if Finland can ever wiggle one in behind the guards.
Se on vaan mihin asti me päästään tänne. Tästä päästä melkein tänne asti.
No kyllä mun mielestä tossa on jo semmoinen.
Tästäkin semmoinen. Niin no joo. No itse asiassa niin siis.
Se on tossa.
Tossa olisi hyvä joo. Sitten se on tosi ohut se tupla. Se aika iso osa.
Siis jos me ollaan siinä se slash.
Valkoiselle tuon sun puolelle.
Jos me ollaan täällä, niin se slash on ohut ja se tupla.
So now, play hit and stay.
Mun mielestä tässä on niin vähän vaihtoehtoja.
I think I would not try to play the roll behind the corner guard, because then you can leave a double.
Yeah, Danny, it's extremely hard to get it in a good spot. I think a nose hit or even just a hit and roll to the other side of the center line might be a good shot, make the angles difficult to make a double takeout. I think it's a big ask to make the perfect roll.
Seinä.
Seinä.
Kummalle puolelle?
Vedetään tonne paalipuolelle. Joo. Se on niinku semmonen reilu kiven mitta.
Joo.
Sillä et oo pikkasen irti viivasta, niin
Joo.
silloin se sen tuplaa kaikista vaikein.
Joo.
Aku Kauste, 68% during that game is also not enough usually for winning games on that level.
Must make the hit and stick here. Oh, that's just criminal from Aku Kauste. And USA now lying 2.
Instead of Finland lying 2. So that was a -4 rock.
My finish isn't great, but I think there's a few little sweary words there from Aku. Don't think he can quite believe that he did that. A look of despair on his face there. So, John Schuster, don't think he wants to use up all his luck at this point, but that was a pretty big break there for the States. And now they've got a chance to just draw another one in there. And as long as they're anywhere to the right-hand side of the left-hand side of the forefoot, then there's not going to be any sort of triple takeout or anything like that available. So just looking to throw something maybe into the front ring, kind of top 8, to just have a little bit of nuisance value.
Hard then, boys. All the way, guys. All the way. All the way. All the way, guys. Keep it moving. Keep going. Keep going. Full 12. Full 12 is all you need to get there. Go, 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 go. Keep going. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Bite that in. Go, 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 go.
Hard sweeping.
Little more, Seth. Keep going, buddy. Go, 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 go.
And will it be enough?
That's 400.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we would need the overhead perspective, and it was enough. Well swept. Perfect position.
Yeah, and all these redstones all pretty equidistant from the middle of the ring, so this is almost a draw for a 1 or a steal of 3. So it should be a straightforward for Aku Kauste, but we have seen him a little bit out of sorts this evening, not up to his T-weight best so far.
Important rock for Finland to stay in that game. A draw from Aku Kauste against 3 red ones.
Well, the Supers are pretty happy with this one. Comes down and splits the tee, put one on the board for Finland. And 6 ends played. It's USA 5, Finland 3.
Well swept.
No, kapesa ja ilman harja.
Well, here's an update from Sheet C. Here's France and Korea. See 2 steals going on the board in the 3rd and 4th end. Tony Onchibust just seems to have lost his way a little bit here. And looks like they're drawing against 2 red Korean counters. Needs to cut the 4. And Frary gets his head really close to the stone when he sweeps. I've never noticed that before. Him and Barini drag that one down into the 4-foot. It's a score of 1. And at halftime, Korea leading France by 4 shots to 2.
Good enough. Gotta go. Looks like hard. Hard, fellas. You got a dandy if you get a bye. Go. Hard.
Well, Daniel, I've only seen one person burn a stone with their head before, but they actually failed to do it.
Who?
But one of my old teammates. We didn't have a very good season. Jeremy Frary almost needs to get his head out the way of the stone.
And he quit curling after that, or did he go on?
He still plays it a little bit, but not so much anymore. No team would take him after that one.
Or at least not if you tell everybody on, on YouTube.
Well, I'm not going to name any names. So double center guard goes on from Finland, and Sean Landsteiner makes one of his first mistakes of the game, comes up short of the rings. Expect to see a really attacking end here from Finland. They've got a good setup with 2 center guards well spread on the in the middle of play.
Off. Just let it die. Just let it die. Stop.
Now it maybe just drifts a little bit further down there than it would have liked. So now Finland can have another good pop around the center guard here, and again keeping good distance between the yellow stones.
Takavalkoinen. Takasininen. 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 Takavalkoinen. Takavalkoinen.
Ei vielä.
Punainen nää.
Ei vielä.
Tee.
Joo. Come on.
And we see a big swing from the outside.
Come on. Ihan loppuun.
Perfect weight.
13-7.
Well, yeah, nice to have something to smile about, Pauli. Really nice draw.
Well, if we're going to try to go into one of them, we may as well go to yellow. Roll
Makes
away.
the freeze.
Come on, save the red. What? We're shot right now. I think we go this way. Yeah. Airing on roll up.
Now open up the guards.
Oh, Jared Zezel can throw some heat. How many yellows can he move here?
Perfect.
Oh, terrific shot here by Jared Zezel. Triple peel. Oh, you'd never know that he played a good shot there. Terrific shot. Opens the center line right up and just forces Finland to throw up another center.
Metri.
Pientä.
Metri.
Sulta ja olkaa hyvä.
Puoliväli metri. Puoliväli vaan.
Keskiviivalle vaan.
Puoliväli.
Jos jotain. Pientä.
Viivalima mitään. Nousee jo. Täällä.
Well, they've covered the wrong side of that yellow stone. They needed to almost guard the red stone there rather than the yellow to make sure that they didn't give USA a chance to move this yellow stone off the button. So a big mistake there by Finland. Bad stone positioning.
Just control. Yep.
Well, this should be easy for Zezel after the last takeout.
Whoa, clean, clean, clean. Yeah, hard. Hard. Hard, right up. Hard.
So perfect would be to keep both red ones in the house.
Whoa.
Good one.
Oh, how good's that from Jared Zezel? Moves both of the stones from the center line and rolls over to the corner guard. Great end by the American second.
Avaa. Joo. Kyllä on määris vaan sinne.
Good call. Go behind the guard. You could choose the center guard or the corner guard. I think that it's a good choice now to go behind the corner guard, because like this you save the center guard and you can go behind that one with the skip rocks.
Go.
Well, this is true. But by going around the corner guard at this point, you might never get another chance to come around the center. So we just need to see how this plays out. It's a kind of a neutral decision, but poor execution again here by Finland. That one drifts right through. So John Schuster standing there, hand on hip, thinking,
What do you want to do?
that's what he's thinking.
Here?
So did that mean peel or draw?
Exactly, it's either, that's the options. Yeah, they're opening up the center line. Personally, I like opening up the center of play.
It's fine.
Play the peel. You don't even have to score here in the seventh end.
Yeah,
Try and take hammer into 8.
exactly. Just open it up.
Yeah, and if they blank the seventh end, it's just another end in the books. Another end that Finland can't score in.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, Jeff the Machine Isaacson rips the guard off here. That's what we call them back in juniors, the machine.
The machine. The takeout machine.
Well, Finland going around the corner guard once again. Don't have much option this time. I would expect Sulan Maa to make the required adjustment to get a little bit closer to this shot than his first attempt.
But there's still the chance to force the US to take one in that end. If you play that one perfectly.
Well, looking pretty good this time.
You can maybe get that one from the outside.
Yeah, I think that's maybe why they weren't swooping it at the end, was just they didn't want to take it any wider.
Pick it. We can also get in here for shot pretty good too. Okay. Even with the top 4, guys.
Well, I think this is a better spot for the US to take a risk than the last one. There's absolutely no risk. There's nothing in the center of play.
Good, that's perfect. Line's good.
And even if it all goes wrong around this corner, then
Right off.
they're going to have, worst case, a wide open draw to the 8 foot to score 1.
Right off, guys.
7, 8.
Right off.
So it's looking a little bit speedy at the moment.
Right off.
Something we also mentioned earlier in the week is how the American top-end players complement each other. You have John Schuster, who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a really intense player, always talking. And then you have someone like Jeff Isaacson in the team, who is a man of very few words, very much goes with what John Schuster has to say. And unless he's completely out of line, and then he'll step in and say, no, you're completely crazy on this one, John, you need to do this instead. And he'll be like, oh yeah, okay. And there's a kind of mutual respect there and an acceptance of their roles in the team.
But it's good if that fits together, because if you would have 2 people in the back end always trying to have the last word, it might be difficult.
Absolutely. Well, Aki Kausta not quite happy with this decision quite yet. I think we'd love to play a freeze on that Yellowstone, wouldn't you? Leave them lined up onto the red second shot.
Yeah, would be a good position, but you can also say draw to the open side and definitely force the USA to score 1.
Well, the other option could be to throw a center guard right now.
Yep.
If you throw a kind of medium length center guard and USA try to peel it, they can remove both of these Yellowstones without taking a lot of risk. They're definitely going to put something in center play, maybe back of the 4 foot, I'm not sure. Well, maybe they are throwing a center guard.
It looks like.
Yeah, I think this is a good call from Aki Kausta. I like this. They know that a stone on the edge of the 8 foot's not really good enough to steal here.
And now Schuster plays the perfect come around front 4 foot using the center guard.
Well, honestly, this is... John Schuster maybe has to think, okay, they've thrown a center guard here. What do they want me to do? They want John Schuster to come around that center guard. And any sort of mistake, they're going to try and punish them for it. So maybe he throws top 4, but he doesn't get fully buried, so then they can draw around it. Or you go back of the 4 foot, they've got something to freeze on. So John Schuster putting a little bit of pressure on himself here to make a good shot.
But that's definitely the shot he likes to play, so that's why he's doing it now. And actually, it is also a chance to score 2.
Okay, so this is a make or break shot in the end for the USA.
That line's good though. Close. Close for line. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hard. Room. Wait only. Wait only now. Switch.
A line, I think, is good.
I don't think I've heard a single shout from Jeff Isaacson as this stone comes down the ice. Well, a good draw, but maybe just drifts a little bit too far, and Aki Kausta can play a freeze. Maybe even a little bump.
Joo, mutta silleen niinku just läpi.
Niin on se ihan joku takaraja vaan.
Joo, mutta sen verran toi liikkuu, niin kyllä se silloin.
I would say he should be shot after that rock. So don't be too short, not just play the freeze.
Joo. Kyllä meidän pitää saada 1-2 kuitenkin. Joo.
Absolutely, Daniel, but giving up a 1 here is not the end of the world. You're only 3 shots behind with 3 ends to go. You've got hammer in the 8th end. So the last thing they want to do here is to come down and bounce off that red stone and roll into the open and give Schuster a hit for 2. But I agree, this stone more about the line than the weight, I would say. They either make the freeze, or if they could ever make that little bump that you're talking about, then I would put them in great shape here in this 7th end.
I think in about 10 centimeters would be enough to be shot rock. Just over T-line. Akukauste.
Well, it's certainly too heavy for a freeze.
So when does that rock start curling?
Well, you know what? If this drifts right through, there might be a takeout for 3 out wide here. Well, that's exactly what John Schuster wants to do. He can see a good piece of this Yellowstone. And if he could ever just clean pick this,
I got like half that, don't I?
it would be an 8-3 lead for the USA.
Big shot for John Schuster.
Enough.
I need a little more ice. And
Scoring 3
a little
now
less
would
than I thought I
definitely
did.
mean
There?
the USA is in the playoffs.
Fine.
Oh, this is just a great position as well for the USA. They're guaranteed a score of 1, and this is just a free opportunity for a big score to put this game beyond doubt.
Right off. Close. Close.
Needs to curl. It needs to curl.
Roll in for 2. That's
Oh my word.
really bad. I'm sorry, guys. That's terrible. I'm sorry.
John Schuster pulling one
Yeah.
out of nowhere. No one saw that shot called. And
Probably should have just drawn for 2. I could only see about this much of it.
we said John Schuster didn't want to use all of his luck in this last round robin game. It does enough to score 2.
Wow.
And after 7 ends, USA leading by 4. USA 7, Finland 3.
Mine's good. Yep, counter it. Hard. Start, John.
Well, underway in the 8th end, and if you've just joined us, welcome to the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event live in the BLZ Arena in Füssen, Germany. This is draw 7, the final draw of the round robin in the men's event. 8 teams we started the week with, and there's just really 5 remaining fighting it out for the last 3 spots. USA looking good for moving to 5 wins and 2 losses. And my name's Logan Gray, and alongside me, 2-time Olympian Daniel Herberg. And USA looking comfortable so far, Daniel.
A 7-3 lead is pretty good. 3 ends to go.
Might be, I think it's 2.
Should be a defensive game for the last 3 ends for the USA.
Hope not. Pair of pants.
Try to keep it easy.
Yep. 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 Just a little faster if you can. Hard.
I touched this one.
Okay, so those 2 red stones just kind of sit alongside each other and create a bit of a nest. That could be used for Finland at some stage. You're going to throw another corner guard first.
Työ aika hyvin. Joo. Vähän ohitte tuon muuten ihan lähellä. Antaa ihan siedettävä. Joo. Joo. Hyvä.
We see an update, Korea versus France. In the sixth end, Korea's 4-2 up already. And the Korean skip has got a good chance to score 2 with an open hit, perfectly executed. The new result after the 6th end, 6-2.
Okay, so I think we'll see Finland throw another corner guard here. So for any New Zealand fans out there, I'm sure you're aware of the situation that they need 1 of 3 results to go their way and for them to beat the Czech Republic tonight for them to get into a tiebreak for the playoffs. Well, I hate to say it for you guys, but the results are not going your way so far. Korea looking comfortable and Germany in the lead as well. Here's the matchup at second. Jared Zezel outplaying and out of sorts Yemies comprehensively, really. And another peel here from Zezel. Looks like he's settled into the game nicely after a shaky start. So Yemies is going to throw another corner guard here.
Paikalla varmaan kulman taakse. Toinen tuohon väliin nojalle.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
So here's Jeff Isaacson playing the peel once again. Maybe he can even get 2 off. Just misses the underside.
We left the control station. Yeah.
Pientä. Se kova. Kova. Tee. Pientä. Kovempiko tee? Pientä.
Oh, Jani Sulanmaa coming around the corner guard this time. Finland making their move here in the 8th end.
Kova nyt! Täysillä! Valkonen! Pan. Valkonen! Kova! Vielä! Pitää tuoda! Kova! Alright. Right. Kova.
Good draw there by Sulanmaa. Just dropping to 71%. Jeff Isaacson playing a nice game at 79.
Pikkasen pitää olla varmaan kovempi tällä läpi. Aika sama, jos pitää harjoitella. Sama, jos pitää pientä.
Well, USA play the freeze, and now Jani Sulanmaa going to try and freeze the pocket between these 2 red stones. Just lay one right in that nest.
Etupunaiselle vaan, suuntaan ihan ok. Tiukan vaan. Tilaa. Joo. Valkoinen vaan. Kiinni asti.
And Super's going hard on this one.
Kova.
USA is looking pretty good. And an excellent shot here. So Jani Sulanmaa can play off, John Schuster can play off that wide yellow, but meanwhile on the other side of the BLZ arena, here's Peter de Boer with his final stone of the 7th end. New Zealand giving up 2 in the 6th end to trail by 2. And Pete de Boer needs to make this nose hit in the forefoot to score 2. Not a problem. And that crucial game looks like it could go right to the wire. Tied game after 7 ends. 4-4.
John Schuster playing an in-turn takeout. He's looking for the double.
Yeah, well, I think he'd even like to roll into his own stone. Just change the angles around a little bit. That yellow stone looked pretty well locked in there, and maybe gives another freeze opportunity, or an easier freeze opportunity for Finland. Having said that, they do only have 2 stones remaining in this end.
Jos me tullaan tähän, niin emme saada näitä enää molempia pois. Meillä pitää riittää kivet jotenkin vielä kahteen.
I would say they definitely need to move something, because another freeze is no help at the moment.
Well, timeout called here. Neither skip really at their best today, but John Schuster just sneaking it on Aku Kausta.
Onko tässä 3 milli? Mä tiedän. Kunhan pysyis 2.
So the only freeze that would help is exactly where Pikku holds his broom at the moment, right in front of the red one.
Pysyykö tääkään enää millään sit täällä, jos me joudutaan tulemaan siihen väliin?
That would be a good spot.
Siihen väliin, niin meillä ei ole mitään. Jos me tullaan tänne, niin meidän pitää päästä tänne sisäpuolelle, niin että me voidaan mättää niinku jotain, mitä
Ville Mäkelä, silver medalist of the Olympic Games 2006.
Kakkosen saa varmaan pelaa poistoa tähän nokkaan. Pitää olla aika tarkka toki siinä.
Ei. Kakkosen saa, jos pelaa näin. Ei, en tiedä. Se mättää ehkä näin.
Onko Villellä hyviä idea? Näetkö 3 tässä Ville?
Mitäs jos me yritetään tulla tänne, tökki näin, ja jättää se oma tähän?
Mut jos me tökätään...
Mitä lähtee?
Jos me tökätään tätä...
Jos me saadaan tää tänne stopperiksi.
Jani, jos me tökätään 10 senttiä. Oma tossa, sit ne ei tolla mälläilyksellä, ne ei saa enää...
So, what would you do?
Well, I think the problem here for Finland is that they want to score 3. And right now, I can't really see a way that they can. Even if they play the freeze on that yellow stone, I don't know if they're going to be lying short stone ahead of the red right next to it. So, I mean, they could try and like some sort of takeout on that red stone and roll on top of the yellow, but even still, how do you move the other 2 red stones in the button with just 1 stone?
So I would say 3 is not possible. I mean, if they score 2, that's already good enough for Finland at the moment.
Well, the only way they could possibly score 3, is to play a freeze on the open red.
Yeah, that's right.
You try and freeze on the other side of the centre line from where the yellow stone is. It's a very risky shot, but then if you make it perfectly, maybe you can leave a double if you hit between the 2 yellow stones for 3. But I think realistically, the shot they need to play is probably to play the hit and roll on the wide red.
Sama heitto kuin äsken.
Kun meinasta se lähtee aina, niin emme sit voida sitä pelata.
No siis jos me tökätään niin se mättää...
No, mutta jos se suuntaa just tänne, niin silloinhan sehän se on se pointti.
Alright, no kokeillaan sitä. Kuin pitkälle?
Tuohon niinku tohon. En mä tiedä.
There's the time clocks.
Jos ei se pelaa sitä, niin sit me ei saada aina.
Finland with 17 minutes left for the remainder of this 8th end and the 9th and 10th.
Still okay.
Yeah.
Time should be enough.
Generally, you would account for kind of 7 minutes an end. So it should be comfortable. We've seen teams this week getting through with just 5 minutes for the last end. New Zealand last night running it tight against Germany.
Jos se on menossa yli, niin vaihdetaan siihen toiseen sit.
So, Finland is definitely playing a freeze.
Well, I would say so. I think they're maybe trying to freeze the yellow stone.
Sininen! Läpi! Just läpi! Just läpi!
They actually could be trying to bump the wide stone. That's also a good option, just trying to push it to the back of the 4-foot circle. I'd say that's a pretty good shot there from Aku Kausta.
So the question is, what can John Schuster do?
Dead stiff the back one. You giving him 3 or not?
Oh, you gotta hit it.
I mean, as long as I hit this inside nose, hit this rock first.
I think that was a pretty good shot there from Aku Kauste.
Yes, it is, but just
We got to hit this one, right?
get rid of that one yellow one. Make sure that
As long
it
as I hit
will
this one first.
be not more than 2 at the end.
Yeah, absolutely agree, Daniel. You need to take 3 out of the equation here.
All you got to do is hit inside nose, it goes off that back one, so. Trying to figure out which turn to throw this with. Probably don't think I want it to wait.
And if you hit it a little bit to the inside, you can roll with your shooter a little bit to the left and maybe leave something really difficult.
As long as it stays on the inside of nose. Because if I hit nose, it still hits the side of it and probably rolls off. I just got to hit inside nose.
Why can't you just do this?
Because if I happen to go, if it happens, just catch the side of this. He's got to get rid of 3 of our rocks, even if I dead jam this. Because I'm going to...
Yeah, I think they can hit on the inside here, as John said. And even if they could run into the Yellowstone just a little bit and just free up the yellow a little bit so that it would make the raise difficult for 2, that would be a good shot. They almost hang off that Yellowstone on the right-hand side of the center line and rolling into the yellow and just tapping the red up a little bit just to make the final shot a little bit more difficult for Aku Kauste.
Inside where I'm going to hit it even.
But definitely make sure that you get 1 yellow out of the house.
Yeah, 2 up with the hammer in the 9th end is definitely not a bad situation to be in.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 Right up. Right to it. Right to it.
Well, something a little bit like that. Nice shot there by John Schuster. Couldn't have asked for too much more than
I
that.
don't think he's got a shot for 2.
That's perfect, because now if you hit the first one straight, you will never be second with your shooter. No, Finland, I think, has to play the draw.
Well, that was the shot that I drew up for John Schuster, and he demonstrated it beautifully. Just released that Yellowstone a little bit and tapped up the red. And I agree, I don't think there is maybe a shot for 2 here. And reluctantly, Aku Kauste bangs his brush on the button and indicates for the draw.
Snappa. 14. Joo.
So Finland, last rock in the 8th end. Aku Kauste playing another difficult shot with his last one.
Well, needs to cut the 1 foot here. Looks pretty close. And can Schuster get this off the button? He cannot. Terrific draw by Aku Kauste. And it's a score of 1 in the 8th end to extend this game. However, Finland with a lot of work to do here, now trailing the USA by 7 shots to 4 after 8 ends.
It's been a while, last time I remember I was home. Sheets are real wide, Lance. You can almost throw half.
ninth end underway here. And Finland with it all to do. They're going to go for the double center guard option here and try and make the steal.
Mulla on aika 14. Aikakin aika vähissä.
Aika ulkona.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, yep. Heavy ass. Whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Yep, yep. Hard, 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 hard.
Well, a really nice tech shot here by John Landsteiner. Beautiful shot by the American lead. And gets a little bonus and rolling into the house.
Vähän lähempään. Puoliväli.
Tää jäädä vaan. Puoliväli. Puoliväli riittää.
So we'll have a look to sheet B, Germany versus Japan. Germany is 2 up at the moment with the hammer. And Felix Schulze needs to play a hit and stay with the intern. 2 Japanese rocks are lying best in the house at the moment. No sweeping. No sweeping. Well played. 1 for Germany. The score 7-4.
Yeah, Felix Schulze and the boys hanging tough here in their home country and still very much in the hunt for a place at the Olympic Games. So another good tick shot there by John Landsteiner. Seems to have his soft peel weight down to a T and keeping the center playing nice and open. Got to think any score here in this 9th end for the USA will be enough to finish the game.
Want to go this way with it? Probably. Yeah, right. Lead.
The USA playing another fast takeout. Peeling takeout on the corner guard. Perfectly played.
Well, now Finland don't have a lot to work with here. Would probably like to see them throw a center guard here, persevere with that option, but going for the freeze here. Big effort here from Jani Pitko. You can hear him panting away. Makes the freeze right in the pocket. Nice shot there by Yemis.
It'd be second. Normal. Either way. Normal? Normal, yeah.
Just playing the easy one first. Good choice.
Normal. Lead.
Jared Zezel's had a great second half to this game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Right to it. Right to it.
Looks good here. Hits right on the beak, and USA lie 2 here in the 9th end.
I guess we just made something to peel.
I can maneuver.
Okay. Good. As long as one of us has to be able to do that.
Well, sometimes I don't think we need to be here, Daniel, if you just listen to John Schuster and the amount of feedback that he gives. So I think you made a good point there, though, in saying that by making that hit and stick out in the wing, it just makes things a little bit more complicated for the peels.
We should just turn his volume up a little bit.
Yeah, and then we can just head off and have a nice evening together. Meanwhile, on the other side of the arena, back to sheet D, here's Jiří Snětil. Czech Republic 4-2. Then against New Zealand 3-3. And that's Kitzberger and Barish on the brush. Looks like a draw for 2 here. And makes no mistake. 8 ends played. And the All Blacks are backs against the wall against the Czech Republic and now trailing by 6 shots to 4 in a must-win game for New Zealand. And actually, the way the results are going, a must-win game for the Czech Republic as well, it must be said. So,
another center guard.
Yeah, I'd almost like to see them play it a little bit higher in the free guard zone to make it more difficult to peel. Got stones on both sides that they would need to navigate. Now you're not going to see Jeff the Machine miss too many of these. Automatic.
Easy for him.
Easy for a man of his ability.
I guess you can maneuver. I told you.
I didn't even know if Jeff Isaacson was wearing a mic today. I've not really heard too many words out of his mouth. But I see he has got the pack on his belt loop.
Kukauste playing an out-turn draw.
Well, going for the freeze on that red stone. And nothing but air as that one drifts by the edge of that red stone. So, USA in great shape here, but also in good shape, Korea. They've finished off the round robin with a win, bounced back after 2 losses, and finished this round robin on 5 wins and 2 losses, setting the bar high for the rest of the teams still out there on the ice. Germany need to win. USA need to win, and the Czech Republic need to win to join them on 5. And New Zealand are going to need a minor miracle for them to get a tie break.
So John Schuster has got an open draw.
Yeah, expect to see him just drop one on the tee line here. He won't want to leave one too high in the house to set up some sort of a freeze or a double.
Careful. Careful. How deep is it?
Well, it's
Right on
8.
top of our other one, though.
9, right to it.
Keep it in line with it. Well, oh, Jesus. That's odd.
Well, just drifts maybe a foot too far.
That's all right, guys.
I'd like that one just to stay on top of the tee line and could well force Kukauste to throw a freeze here. Oh, he's actually looking at a little circus quad here to lie 3. Daniel, you could have played this shot in your heyday.
Easy. I didn't even see it. Logan. Let's have a look.
10 years ago, Daniel, you definitely could have made that shot.
that's not an easy one. So I think they're going to play the freeze.
I'm a little bit disappointed. I would like to see him play this triple, quad even.
I think it's not working. That's the problem.
Doesn't matter.
Just try.
Just do it. It's the end of the round robin anyway. I think it should go out in style.
My former third always said, while we were playing a World Junior Championships, we didn't win, but he played the fastest rock on the ice.
Well, you always need to take positives away from these things, Danny. Well, it's just going to be the dead freeze, unfortunately, here for Aku Kaustad. I think the quad could have been there, but I guess we'll never know. Maybe we can send you down again, like we were going to this afternoon.
Just leave the rocks like this now. No, Schuster is coming afterwards, so
this is true.
The situation will not be the same.
Seems to be pretty fast up this center line. And this one's not going to curl enough, is it? It is not, and it should be a straightforward takeout here for John Schuster to secure the USA's 5th win, really. Just needs to get that Yellowstone out of there, and they'll be guaranteed a score of at least 2.
Firm.
Any sort of score really good enough here, and just shows what an advantage it is to have a lead who can play 2 tick shots like that.
John Schuster maybe playing the last shot of that game.
Oh, lead.
Seems pretty happy with it.
Oh.
How many is it going to be? It's going to be 3 for the USA.
Game, guys.
And that will be good enough for the USA to secure their 5th win of this round robin and finish on a record of 5 wins and 2 losses. Finland, unfortunately, will finish on the opposite on 2 wins and 5 losses. And USA will just have to wait and see what lies ahead in the conclusion of this 7th draw.
The Czech Republic has got 6, New Zealand 4. The 9th end is on. And New Zealand has got the right of the last shot in that end. So now we end the game. Czech Republic versus New Zealand. The 9th end is on. Czech Republic has got a lead. by 6-4. And New Zealand is aiming to score at least 2 in that end to level the score. We saw the last shot of Jean Becker, the third of the New Zealand team. So 2 rocks to go for Czech Republic. Jiří Snítil line shot rock at the moment and thinking about either playing a takeout or putting a second rock on the other side of the house. So I think his idea would be the draw. The team thinks about playing the takeout.
Okay. I'm out.
So they call a timeout.
Já vím, ale já si nejsem jist. Komora znamená, že tedle míjíš o centimetr.
So the question is, can you play the double takeout if you try to hit the front yellow one? Can you be as close to your own one to hit the one back in the house? That would be the perfect shot. But if that is not possible and you hit it on the nose, you will always leave a double and give New Zealand the chance to score 2. So I think the draw's the better shot at the moment. So we see on the left side, Czech Republic's playing with the red stones and New Zealand playing the yellow ones. Now they think even about playing a tap back.
No, hlavně jako hraješ nejlepší kámen. Tak tuhle variantu škrtáme. Buď tohle.
The coach is coming in.
Double is just too risky. Play second. Well, if we pick this one out.
So they decide to play the takeout.
Na komoru, no. Když by vyšla ta komora, dobrý, ale...
So the team and the coach both together convinced Jiří Snítil to play that takeout. He didn't want it to play that. He was more going for the draw. I would have been with him. So hopefully he's going to make that one. Unbelievable game accuracy, 100% so far in that game. Now where can he hit that one? A little bit far too outside, so he rolls out. But one thing is sure, New Zealand cannot score more than 2 rocks in that end.
Well, and the problem here that Pete de Boer has is that he is always going to leave a double takeout here. He can't really roll away from that Yellowstone towards the center line without losing his own yellow, so needs to really hope for a misc from Jiří Snítil.
Peter de Boer with an in-turn takeout. He needs to hold his shooter in the rings. Perfect.
Oh, well judged sweeping call there to make a little roll towards the center line. Risky stuff there by Sean Becker, and I can't believe, I don't think Pete DeBoer can believe that he got up the sweeping there. Heart and mouth moment.
Oh, you called it great. Jeez.
One thing is sure, Sean Becker is cool enough.
So I know everyone's keen to know what the outcome is going to be here with regards to qualification and tie breaks. We'll try and cover that when we get to the start of the 10th end. We've got a little bit better idea of what's going on. So we'll hold off on that one to the start of the 10th end. Keep you guys around a little bit longer. So usually Snaetail going for the slash double here.
Can he make it?
Well, it's all gone quiet. That's usually a pretty sure sign that the shot's being missed tight.
Good try. Still lying shot rock. So the Kiwis have to play a hit and stay on the red one to score 2.
Well, the nerves have to be jangling a little bit here for Pete DeBoer. This is a must-make shot, really. So, just pulling himself together for this final shot of the 9th end. Pete DeBoer. And he asked for a nice steady control weight. And this one is going to stick around. Nice shot there by the Kiwi skip. And it's a score of 2. And how exciting is this? 6 each after 9 ends. And still all to play for here.
Jumped about here somewhere. I don't know. I just great scrum, guys. Said all of a sudden it was on the nose. Maybe thrown anything at me for a while, so maybe just. Oh yeah, it was unnatural though, wasn't it? No. Yeah.
So the last end of, or the last regulation end of the men's round robin here. Draw 7 here at the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification 2013. And we still don't know who's going to qualify for the playoff stages. It's too close to call. And in our featured game here, New Zealand and Czech Republic tied coming home. Czech Republic have the last stone in 10. And this is Jindřich Kitzberger trying to play the tick shot. And if you just joined us for the first time this week, my name is Logan Gray, and alongside me, German two-time Olympian Daniel Herberg, calling the shots for us. This one's just going to hit a little bit too thick and pushes it to the boards. Free guard zone rule comes into play and the guard's replaced. So this is what we think is going to happen. We've already had wins for USA and Korea. Germany are looking like they're going to win against Japan, 1-up with the hammer coming home. And if that was the case, if the Czech Republic won this game, the Germany and the Czech Republic would qualify 1 and 2 for the pitch playoff. based on head-to-head results, and USA and Korea would have a tiebreaker for the 3rd spot. And if New Zealand beat the Czech Republic here, that puts both Czech Republic and New Zealand out. This all assuming that Germany will finish off the job against Japan. And if Japan win, we'll get back to you. we'll start again.
Interesting also if New Zealand wins and Germany wins, we have only 3, so no tiebreaker. But then the ranking would be maybe in another way, because of beating each other would mean that that Germany, Korea and USA would perfectly beat each other around, and then the LSD would count.
Yep, absolutely right, Daniel. So we still have no idea who's going to be qualifying in any of the positions in the playoffs. Just incredible stuff. We all thought it was going to be tight this week in the men's competition. Just nothing between the best teams and the worst, or the worst teams, that's probably the wrong way to put it, but just nothing between the teams out here. And on any other week, the table could have probably been completely upside down from what it is now. Well, great draw by Scott Becker onto the top of the 1 foot. And actually, New Zealand had to try and steal in the 10th end against Germany last night. And they played a super 10th end despite a double peel. But unfortunately, with Pete de Boer's first stone, he just overthrew his guard under pressure for time, threw it into the house, and Felix Schulze made a double to really kill the game off. But Scott Becker did exactly the same thing last night, looped one around the double center and put it right on the 1 foot. Great shot here. Great shot by Jakub Barish.
Because the setup was really perfect for New Zealand. 2 long guards with big distance and 1 on the 4 foot. So that's a really excellent shot for the Czech Republic at that moment. Scott Becker playing his 2nd shot in the 10th end. New Zealand with another guard.
Here if you can. Here if you can. Take a look. Look at where I am. Hard.
Well, that's in a pretty good spot there. Not the easiest to peel for the Czech Republic.
So the question is, do you just take that one, or are you trying to get a double? Because if you try the double, you can bring the 2nd guard maybe a little bit further to the inside again. And at the moment, these 2 guards are only corner guards, so there's no need for a risk, if you ask me.
Well, the one thing about them, though, is that they're both covering the kind of the middle of the 8 foot, which could get in the way for a draw. And that's a super shot there by Jakub Barish, doing some real damage there with 2nd stones.
So actually, I would give him, for both shots, 150%, because they were really unbelievably good. That's what you need a 2nd to be playing in the 10th end if you're tight.
You're a generous man, a very generous man. Well, actually, that red stone moving down there probably makes things a little bit easier for New Zealand to throw a guard that's tough to peel. They can put one almost splitting center, a little bit left of the center line. And Jiří Šnitil has to have a good look at this one to choose the better way to peel it. Doesn't want to stuff it onto one of those wide stones.
So now Martin Šnitil playing 86% so far.
Well, good to see Martin having a good game. I think he's had some struggles this week, but 86% is just world-class shooting from the Czech third. Oh, and there's the mistake that New Zealand were looking for.
That's exactly what you don't want to have at that moment. Don't bring the guards back into the center. And now there's a chance for Jean Becker.
Well, once again, New Zealand not blessed for time here. They'll play against Pete de Boer much in the last 10 years, but I don't remember him being the fastest skipper that ever graced the ice. Now, once again, just 2 minutes 20 left to get the remaining stones played. So, still a good shot there by Sean Becker. Drifts past the tee line, but I think better down there than leaving it at the top of the 8 foot. Much easier to double peel. Keeping the yellow stones well separated, good distance, and perfectly in line.
So now, are they trying to play the double or just open up the middle?
Well, I would hope they're just playing the straight peel here. Oh, actually goes for the run. I can't really understand that call, Daniel.
Me not either, because now you give the opponent the chance to even put that rock a little in a better position than it was. Because that guard in front of the house is the most dangerous rock at the moment for the Czech team.
Well, absolutely, Daniel. That stone was back at the tee line. You make your opposition put the guard back on, guard that stone back at the tee line, and you've got to think that the chances are you're going to have a draw to that stone with your last one.
Now another big chance for Peter de Boer.
Well, Peter de Boer only has 1 minute 26 remaining on the clock at the moment.
That's not a lot, but it should be enough. But actually, you're right. It's not much thinking time at the end.
Well, I think it's a pretty straightforward situation here, so there shouldn't be too much thinking required. Terrific draw here. That one just walks in sideways to the front of the tee, and that could well be a winner here. And this time, I think Czech Republic do have to play the run.
Yes, now they have to, because drawing against that yellow rock is pretty difficult.
Kousíček z té strany, jo?
Jiří Snítil playing his first rock in the 10th end. Can he make the double and keep his Olympic dream alive?
Well, must be pretty close here. Pete de Boer raises the hand already to...
Perfect.
Great shot there by Jiří. That's a super shot under pressure there from the Czech skip.
And if you think about the pressure they have right now here, the team was really pretty relaxed. No big shouting because of sweeping. They just knew that it was good and made it perfectly.
Well, it's easy to be that way when you throw it straight down the brush. So Pete de Boer, no timeouts remaining and 30 seconds left on the clock. So just a reminder that he only really has to get past the back line before he runs out of time. So Pete will manage that. 75% for the game for his 6 draws. And this is exactly the same draw, same path as they just threw.
Can he make that one again?
Got to see, it's looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit speedier than the last one. Needs to finish in the 4 foot here.
Now will it stop? Oh, it's too long. So I would say that's the win for Czech Republic. And it is.
Well, Czech Republic moved to 5 wins and 2 losses, and alongside Korea and the USA in the hunt for the Page playoff. And so much excitement here, so much disappointment as well for the New Zealand boys. But a great effort, and they've certainly not embarrassed themselves this week. On another week, it could have been a couple more wins and they could have been in the playoffs. But there's your final, Czech Republic 7, New Zealand 6.
And one thing is for sure, Czech Republic is now in the 1 and 2 game, no matter how Germany is playing.
Confident about that?
I think. So I'm counting myself. I don't know what the WCF says.
I'm going to have a look at my emails here and look at the 16 different permutations that we had before this draw started. Okay, so if Germany win, Germany and the Czech Republic go to the 1-2 and USA and Korea in a tie-break. If Japan win, then USA go to the 1-2 game. And then there's 2 tiebreakers who go straight through. Korea and the Czech Republic would play for the 2nd spot. And then Germany and New Zealand would play for the 3rd spot.
No, if Japan, sorry, but if Japan is winning, then Germany's out.
Touché.
So there will be no tiebreaker for Germany then.
Right, I've got it. Okay, if Japan win here, Czech Republic and the USA into the 1-2, and Korea would go 3, and there would be no tiebreakers. Sound more like it?
Yep, I take that. But I think we have here Felix Schulze and only 1 guard lying in front of the house. 4 rocks to go for Germany. We are in the extra end.
Yeah, score of 2 in the 9th and a steal of 1 in the 10th. Taking this one to an extra, taking it to overtime. John Yar playing 84% today. Good shooting. Chips the guard off. See the center play just wide open. So at the moment, the best Japan can do is really make Germany face 2 and hope for a hit and roll out.
But I think they still have to play guards. It makes no sense to go in the house now.
Yeah, I think they can wait right until their last stone to go into the house. I think they're maybe worried that Germany might make a slash double off the guards, but you have to take that risk to see if you can get a center guard out of it. Here's Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, playing 79% for the game. Terrific sweepers, the Japanese boys, Shimizu and Morizumi. Well, this one's just going to crawl into the front of the house. And this is a great chance here for Germany to really mop things up.
Wie du willst. Aber ich finde hier ganz gut, Johnny. Haben wir ihn sicher weg. Es läuft da gerade.
So they thought about playing the double, red, but the decision is another one. Just play on the red one and roll out.
Well, I can only guess that they don't want to risk rolling anything onto the center line. That they're playing it this way.
Johnny Yar Playing his last shot in the extra end, the German third.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Schön.
Just hit that one and roll out. Well played.
Well, John Yar's just made a comeback in the last couple of seasons. He was posted missing from international curling for 15 years. Played the World Championships in 1996 and then just vanished until returning to the Europeans in 2011 in Moscow. And of course, this German side won the European B group this year to return Germany to the A group for next year.
Japan skip. Maruzumi playing an intern.
I've got to say I'm disappointed for the Japanese guys. This week I thought they were going to do a lot more. I think a lot of teams expected more from them after a super performance that they had at the Pacific Championships. Well, they've been putting in a lot of hard work to prepare for this event, and just for whatever reason they've just never got off the ground this week.
Ja, würde ich schon, oder? Oder was meint ihr?
So they played that one into the rings. Don't understand that really, because
Bisschen neben der Nase Eis für 0, oder?
Well, they're just really accepting that the only way that they're going to win this game is by Germany hitting and rolling out with their last stone, and I don't know if at this level you can really put that to chance. At the third stones, you need to keep throwing the centre guard and just pray that they don't make a double peel. And if you never know, you might get a centre guard out of it somehow.
Felix Schulze, 75% so far in that game.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Well, he made a terrific double last night against New Zealand with his first stone to win. Could just settle for a hit and stick here. Now, do you freeze or do you nose hit?
So actually, I think I would nose, because what gives the freeze? I mean, I think the opponent is going to play a draw anyway for the last one, because it's just 8 foot, and the freeze for me now is by far the more difficult shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I totally agree with you. It's a lot of risk for not a lot of reward here for Japan, but we'll see how this one goes down anyway. Well, phone just going off there in the crowd, and Morozumi just doing the right thing and completely resetting in the hack, composing himself for his 13th draw of this game, 77%, so pretty good shooting by the Japanese skip.
Now he needs to make that one to keep the pressure on Felix Schulze.
All the sweepers are heads down on this one. They know that they need to go coast to coast on this one.
It needs to be shot rock.
Well, the sweepers really need to go hard on this one. Get it down there. How's it look? Oh, terrific sweep in there by the Japanese boys.
So
wow, I don't know if there's any other sweepers here that would have made that one as good.
So that one was really perfect. It could not have been any better.
Yep.
Great shot.
And that was an incredible display of stamina by the Japanese boys there at the end of a long round robin. Still able to go the distance there. So it's going to be a cold draw to the 4 foot for Felix Schulze.
Now,
Draw.
this is the shot. for the 1-2 game at the Olympic qualification for Felix Schulze and his team from Hamburg. Can he make that one?
Well, we assume that he's playing the draw here.
So that is the draw, that is for sure. Now the right weight. And it's all by the sweepers.
Oh, it's good, it's good, it's good, Svenny, it's good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, this one's all about the sweepers
Whoa,
now.
Fuß. Whoa, whoa. Nur sauber.
Needs to touch the forefoot
Gut,
here.
Jungs, sauber. Sauber.
It looks good, it looks good.
Well, here goes Shimizu trying to get it through. Will he get it through? Just. Wow. Oh my, oh my. What a thrilling end to this round robin here at the Olympic qualification event here in the BLZ Arena in Füssen, Germany. Germany make hard work of it, but they get the job done. And we have 4 teams tied at 5 wins and 2 losses. We knew it was going to be tight, but we didn't know how tight it was going to be. So this is how it rolls out now. Germany qualify top of the round robin. Czech Republic qualify second. Keep me right here, Daniel. And then for the tiebreaker, for the 3rd spot, we have USA in 3rd spot and Korea in 4th spot. How does that sound?
Excellent.
Wow.
I couldn't have done it any better than you, Logan.
16 possibilities before this draw started as to who would qualify in what order. And that's it right there. Germany 1, Czech Republic 2, USA 3, Korea 4, and New Zealand eliminated in this draw.
We see the highlights of our featured game, USA versus Finland. And there's John Schuster in the 7th end with his last shot.
Whoa, girl, just a little.
And he was a little bit lucky with that one. He wanted to hit the yellow one to score 3. He passed it, but he got 2 at the end. He apologized for that one. Well, at the end, it counts what you have got on the scoreboard. And now we see Aku Kauste playing a very difficult draw. USA was lying perfect. But he really made that one incredibly good. 1 for Finland. But the lead was still a lot for the USA. And that's the only yellow stone, the only finish stone that was left in the 9th end. John Schuster playing in an out-turn takeout. And this is the last shot of the game. He makes it, scores 3. And a safe win for the USA, 10-4 after the 9th end.
Well, elsewhere in a very exciting draw 7 in this men's Olympic qualification event, Japan just losing out to Germany in an extra end, Korea defeating France by 7 shots to 2, and Czech Republic just sneaking it on New Zealand in a very tense 10th end.
John, congratulations on finishing the round robin with a much needed win. What was your assessment of the performance today?
Very good. We really, put some pressure on early and got a big 3 in that first end by executing early, which we hadn't done all week. So got a better start and hung on there for a while, and then played a couple really good ends later there of defense.
How difficult is it to defend for a whole game like that after getting off to a 4-0 lead?
It's tricky because you peel away and you're kind of just giving away a deuce if they make 7 or 8 shots, and they did that a couple times early, and we got really fortunate. He had kind of a bad miss at the end of the 6th end. Otherwise, it's a 1-point game starting the 7th end after being up 4-0 to start.
So tell me about your last shot in the 7th end.
Yeah, I apologize for that one. I actually got in the hack. I could see less, and I thought I probably should have just thrown the draw for 2 rather than playing that for 3. But yeah, every now and then in curling, that kind of stuff works out. I guess they said, oh, we saw it was there from the time you threw it, so I guess I feel a little less bad, but still, not something you want to do.
You obviously had to come through national qualifiers to get here. Does that give you any advantage going into the playoffs over the other teams who have maybe been selected?
You know, I don't think so. I think everybody's worked extremely hard to get here, all these teams, and you know, we're going to have to just keep working hard and win whatever's left for us here in the playoffs.
Congratulations, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Logan.
There you have the thoughts of the winning skip, John Schuster. And if you just hang on 2 ticks, we'll give you confirmed standings after a very, very tight round robin. Don't think I can ever recall seeing anything like this, Daniel.
That's really close, and I think if you're all tied, it's quite unfair that one team has to play the tiebreaker and the other one is already in the 1-2 game. So,
and there we have it. 4 teams tied on 5 wins and 2 losses. Germany get through number 1, Czech Republic through number 2. They will get 2 shots at qualifying for the Olympics. They'll play against each other. The winner will qualify. The loser will play against the winner of a tiebreak between the United States and Korea. And the winner of that game will qualify for the second spot at the Olympics. I'm exhausted. So still all to play for here in the BLZ Arena. Just a thrilling round robin. And we still need to see the conclusion of the women's event tomorrow morning as well, where China and Japan on 5 wins and no losses playing each other. And still 3 teams gunning for that 3rd spot in the playoffs. Germany, Norway and the Czech Republic still in with a chance if they can get to 3 wins.
So I guess we will see a tiebreaker out of 3 teams for 1 spot.
Yep, you would think so. So there could be 2 tiebreakers required from those 3 teams to get that 3rd spot. But after this 7th round, we've seen anything can happen. And so much on the line. These teams playing for a spot at the Olympic Games in Sochi in Russia, February 2014. Just a tremendous event here in the BLZ Arena. But from myself, Logan Gray and Daniel Herberg, thanks for joining us for this evening's coverage, and I hope you join us for more tomorrow morning, live from the BLZ Arena. Thanks for watching.